Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Boulder Canyon. Just moving that one out of the way because we still have one tree stump left in this little area over here. I did do a little test dig over this side, and yes, there is a tree stump in that side. And when I say yes, there is a tree stump, what I mean is, I lowered it down all the way along here, all the way up through, just to have a look, and there's probably about 12 tree stumps all the way up through there. But they don't come out very far. That's about as far out as they come, and I don't think that we're going to worry about it now. It's going to cost money to mess around with that. So I think what we'll do is we'll leave it, and we'll just manually do round a couple, maybe do a couple passes up and down there manually as well, so that we move away from the tree stumps whenever we're working the field, and we'll take out more of these trees, and we'll worry about going back through and removing the rest of the tree stumps that are there at a later date. Now, as far as I know, the last tree stump we've got is one right here. I don't think there are any more that we need to worry about. So we'll just lower this down a minute. And there it is. There is the final tree stump right there. That is the last one that we've got to worry about. So we're going to get our tractor over here. We've already done this bit. I tell you what. Well, we've got the stump grinder on. So if we just very quickly go over, we'll get this one going here. We'll run that one back up through. We've got that patch there and that patch there. They're all fully restored. That's ready to go. I think that's it for tree stumps. I don't think there are any more tree stumps that we need to worry about. It's just the ones all down the side of the field. But I figure we can do those later on when we're busy making our next field as well. Because I suspect that this is going to be something, this is going to be a process that we are going to have to go through a bit more than we would like, but, you know, it's kind of part of making a field, isn't it? So, I don't think that it's any great hardship. Let's lower that one right down there, and hopefully that'll be rid of it. I'll move you up over here. Stop you there a second, and I can do this a minute. If we go into here, and lower you down a bit more. Right, it's not there. That has now gone completely, so we won't worry. Let's just leave that a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this one done. I'll get this one unhitched. We will get the cultivator on, and we will go and cultivate up the other bits. All of the two sections that they're now done. They're now stump free, or they should be. And once we've cultivated those bits up, we can then just lower that one down a minute. Once we've cultivated those two bits up, we can go and put this seed drill going on that and leave that one to continue seeding while we then come back over here and finish off this little patch here and then replow it once more so that we can finish the job off once and for all. That'll be it. We will then have our new field, and then I will put time back up to the normal time rate, what it should be. Since we've had it only on 1 time speed for a little bit. So let's allow create fields and lower you down here. And we'll just go round and round and round and round on this for a minute. Just like this. Keep it nice and simple. Nothing too complicated. And then once we've done this, we just want we're going to be wanting the grass to grow. And we'll be wanting to do that reasonably quickly, so I will be cutting down some more trees, but mostly I want to be sort of advancing time along so that we get the grass to grow and we can do at least one cut off of the whole big field. That's the thing that I'm looking forward to most at the moment, is getting a cut off of this entire big field. I think it's going to be really awesome being able to do that, especially now that we've done all of this work to get rid of all of these tree stumps everywhere. And we've done a huge amount of work on this. It's taken us quite a long time. We've had all of those trees we've had to remove, and then going through and doing the stumps, and then having to go through and dig up the ground or dig up the big tree stumps that we found, or, you know, I know that we're saying, you know, really, we're going to call it big stones or something like that. Something that was under the ground that was not quite so easy to get rid of, but we've now got those up as well. I think we've made some really awesome progress with this. And then our next bit is going to be cutting trees. We're going to do a strip all the way along the field with the trees so that we don't have them quite so tight to the edge of the field. And then once we've done that strip, that will probably be when we go back over and we dig up the tree stumps again. It'll take a minute for us to do that, to dig up the tree stumps again. Right, I'm going to bring this one over here a second. I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to run down here. So yeah, we'll go all the way along. I'm going to take a line of trees all the way along there, the ones that are close to the edge of the field, and then we'll start working our way up the hill, and at some point we will come back and we will go digging for more tree stumps all the way along the field. We might use the hired help, like put the mower going up the side, just so that we can mark out where each of the tree stumps is. It's a lot easier to do that. I will, after today's episode... One of the easy ways to do it is to just disable the the place anywhere mod. If you disable the place anywhere mod, then you can soon sort of mark out where the tree stumps are hiding using just the standard landscaping tools, because they don't allow you to work wherever there are tree stumps in the ground. Right, I'll put you going here. And in theory, you should now go over all of that without causing me any issues. In theory. What are you going to do? You're going to turn around? Yes. Right, we'll let that one turn and do what it's going to do there. I will jump up over here onto this one. That's going to just carry on and do that bit. Right. Here we go. We will cut out this next section, and then once we've done this, the planting should be just about finished on that last bit, which means that we can then bring the seed drill up over here and start that one working. And we've got this big long section all the way down to the end there. I'm kind of hoping that's just because of a tree stump up at the top end. I'm pretty sure it is. I know I've just reversed with the cultivator on the ground, and really shouldn't do that if you want to actually keep your cultivator intact and able to do anything in the future at any point ever. So we won't do that again. We will now start lifting it out of the ground properly like this. But see, we're going to do this like civilized people. And I'll bring you up over here, drop you in there. So yeah, we will actually be able to do some mowing here. We got a brand new huge great big field. We'll be able to mow it all up and then row it all up and then bale it all up, and it's going to take a while, admittedly, to do any job in this field, but with the hired help coming along and doing a load of it for us, it's certainly going to make life a lot easier. I would ideally like to change the rake that we've got. I'm not a big fan of that rake, but for now we can sort of keep that one. And again, the same with the baler. I'd like to change the baler, and I believe there is a Stevie mod baler. I think he's altered the baler wrapper combo to just have the wrapper bit moving faster. If he has, and the bales are actually the same capacity, like, so we've got 4,000 litre bales. We won't change bale capacity. I think it would be worth us looking into getting that one, although I'm not 100% sure. So I might actually put that as a question next week as to whether we look at any Stevie mods on this playthrough or not, or are they sort of breaking a bit too much reality for you? Because I know that this particular series, this hardcore series, we are supposed to do things a lot more realistically than we do on our other series. So we, you know, Stevie mods, they're up in the air. Like, I'm not guaranteeing that I would use a Stevie mod. I'm not ruling it out completely, but at the same time, it may not be to everybody's taste. So we'll just hold off on that one. It might be worth doing with the baler, but now that we've got our auto-load trailer with the bales, we've got the wrapper, which is a little bit faster. I think that No, I think overall that's not going to be too bad. The faster wrapper plus the trailer that will go, it goes and picks up the bales straight out of the field, which I really like. Plus you also get the added benefit of, I was going to say the added benefit of the way that it tips, but I suppose technically that's not really an added benefit, the way that it tips and the way that it unloads, because it only unloads directly onto the trailer. Some people may consider that not to be a benefit at all. I quite like it. It does sort of limit a bit more the way that you can use that trailer there and the bales that you take off of it. And yes, I'd like I'll probably want something different when we come to doing a bit more livestock. We'll maybe go for a different type of trailer or something like that. I'm not quite sure yet. Oh, hang on. Why am I don't want to be taking that one off yet. I've still got another bit that I'm going to have to cultivate. Completely forgot about that. Right. Let's put that back on there. I've got this bit over here that we're going to need to cultivate. So let's just stop there a second, and we'll switch over to you. You are just about done. Turn off the hired help there. I've got one little tiny bit right there, and it looks like it's actually put grass down across the whole thing. It's actually done it properly. So if I go up through there... Now, the big question is about the fertilizer. If we go here, and you can see, now that we've reseeded it again, it's basically remembered where the fertilizer was. It's done the same over there, even before we reseeded it. So it remembers where the fertilizer was, and then sort of just puts it back into the map for you. If I go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go down here. I'm going to manually do one little bit here, like this. I'm just going to drive along like that. Manually do one little bit there. And then, how big a slice have we got? That is a double width there. Right. So then what I'll do is I'll come up like this, and I won't quite go onto that long strip. I'll move this over a little tiny bit back from the long strip. I'll do it to there. That should be about the right spot, I think. Perfect. Right, so we'll let that one go all the way up. Now, I'm hoping that it will go right down to the other end. It's done all of that section, so we've definitely removed all of the tree stumps from there. I need this one to turn round now and then go all the way up to the road before it turns and comes back again. That's all we need it to do, is we need to get right up to the road, then turn and come back. I think there is, down by that road sign, I think there is a tiny, tiny little bit that we're going to need to go over. So we'll have to remember to do that. Once we finish planting out this section here, we will need to remember to go back and do that. Now, I think this bit here is left blank because of the tree stumps that were up in the patch all the way up there. I believe it will go all the way up. And it should turn... You know, I'm just going to go and grab those two little spots right there. Okay, that has gone all the way up without any issues. So if I just move over this way a second. Now drop this one down right here. Like that. There's two little spots right there. Take those out, and then we'll come back down here again. Like this. And we can let the hired help go. So I'll just bring you up along here. So it's got this long section done down here. And then it will start working on the rest of it up there on that other piece. So long as it's got this long section done, that's absolutely fine. So we will just jump over to this one a minute. Remember, we can jump away from... hired help. That's the only time that we can tab to and from vehicles is with the hired help. And I will go like that and make that one big like that so that we've got plenty of room here for expanding it out. Not like expanding it out, just for moving it in and out. And brush strength, we're going to increase that all the way up to 3.0 from 0.1 like that. And then it's just the middle mouse button. Put the middle mouse button in. Yes, I am expanding out quite a way on this. But as far as I'm concerned, it's worth it just to make sure that we get rid of all of the bumps. So this is the second time I've had to do it on this section. Right here. But it's worth it. You can see the ground moving a little bit there in places, but I think we've got all the movement out of it that we're going to get. Definitely looks like it now. Yeah. See, it's just moving it a tiny, tiny little bit, but it's not actually doing anything to seriously affect it. So then we can come back over onto you, and we can cultivate out one tiny little bit more. So we just want to just remove this piece here, get the seed going on that, just bring you up here, and then allow create field, and get you going on this piece. There we go. Right, I'll bring you around there, and then I've got to get this done over with the seed drill. Once this bit is done over with the seed drill, we have then done our field. And we'll go back to our normal 5 times speed, and I think I'll start working my way down the edge of the field, removing a few of those trees. We do know now, though, that the main reason that the tractor wasn't working... You know, I'm actually seriously wondering... No, we will, because later on, we're going to want those removed anyway. We're going to want a line of trees removed down through there anyway, just to make it easier for removing all the stumps when we come to it. So I will start removing a line of trees next to the field. We won't go very far out from the field, just a little bit, but... yeah, it's just to remove a few of the trees next to the field. I think it's going to help us. It's certainly not going to make any difference for the hired help because they're detecting the tree stumps that are under the ground. And that's not going to help us at all. So we are going to have to go through this process here where we have the Place Anywhere mod active so that we can lower the ground around the stumps to reveal them and then remove the stumps using our BioBelts machine. So that's essentially simulating us digging big holes in the ground and digging out the items that are in the ground, which, you know, like we said already, could be big stones, it could be tree stumps, it could be more stubborn tree stumps, anything along those lines. All these sorts of things do have to be removed when you're reclaiming land and building a new field, so it's certainly nothing that would be particularly unusual, I don't think. Down to there, and we'll go back up through so we'll take out a line of trees, and then once we've done that, we'll start working our way up across the whole area to our new, sort of marking out where our new field is going to go. That's going to be like the next big thing. So there is that bit done. I've now marked out the field. I've done everything that I want to do with this field. When we've had one lot of grass growth, we're going to need to get one more lot of fertilizer onto that field so that we've got the double load of fertilizer on there, and that will give us maximum grass yield. We'll probably end up getting weeds off of this side of the field during the first season, but that's to be expected. Right, let's lower you down there. I am now actually finished with you. So you can sit there, and I'm going to drive over my fireplace, bring the tractor over here and just stop you right there. We're not going to use you for a minute. We need to head over to our hired help and see how that one's getting on. That one's actually almost done. And it's done a really good job as well. It doesn't look like it's missed any bits and left anything behind, which is absolutely fantastic. So we'll go to right there. And just finish that piece off like that. Right, so we have now got the field planted. We need to wait for one round of grass growth in order to be able to do the next bit. I want to get this one little bit planted down here so that it is completely finished. I'm going to just set the hired help going on this as well so that we can make sure that we have definitely got everything removed. We should have. There's no reason that the hired help won't actually go all the way to the bottom of this section either, he says. Looks like it might do it. Got a little bit of issue with it, sort of struggling a little tiny bit with reversing up round. So that tree there, I think we will leave it. This one here, I'm going to cut this one down. That one right there is going to be one that we will remove. And then we'll start doing a line of trees down the side of the field so we can take out a few more. We've had quite a while now where we've not had to worry about doing any tree felling at all, which has been quite nice. And we're not going to have to focus quite so much on tree felling anymore. We are going to still have to do a fair bit of tree felling in order to finish this series. This series, I don't, like, some people, I get the impression that they thought this was going to be like a 30 or 40 episode series. No, this is going to be more like 100, well, let's say 100. I would guess anywhere from 150 to 200 episodes to finish up this series. And then we will do another hardcore series. I'm not quite sure how long that one's going to take either. But another hardcore series on top of this one would be just as much fun. I'll have just as much fun doing that as I'm having doing this one. But we might do it a little bit differently. A few people have said that, you know, for a future hardcore series, could we not just have a forestry map? Could we have something? Doesn't necessarily have to be that map, but something like the Montana map. Is it Black Montana? Something like that. Something like that map, because what that one's got is some fields and then large areas of forestry. So we could start off with a field, or we could start off with no land at all. If we started off with no land or a very small piece of land, we could then just sort of start off by doing contracting, and only do contracting. So we can only lease machinery, and even if we don't own anything, if we own nothing at all, we own no land whatsoever to start with, and we basically just say to start with, well, we can keep our machinery here, and the only thing we can do is contracting work. And then once we've done contracting work for a while, we're able to buy a small parcel of land and start expanding from there. So we'll be able to get our own small farm, start building up. But the Montana map looks like there's a huge chunk of that map is given over to forestry. So we could still have a big pile of forestry to do if we were to take that map. So, I mean, that is like another option that we can explore. That's another thing that we could take a look at doing. It may not be to everybody's tastes. It may be that we go and do our next super hardcore series on a very, very small map. Something like Old Streams. Right, that doesn't seem to be working. If that one could stop moving now. Anytime. Anytime now. I really don't mind. Seriously, stop moving. If you could just hold still a minute. There, right, okay, so it's at least stopped moving for a second. I think that's far enough away. I don't need to get carried away. It's these ones over here, really, that are closer to the field that we want to get rid of. Helper C has completed their task. Let me cut down a few more trees, and then we'll go and remove Helper C. Actually, no, I better just go over and check, make sure, because we do need to go back to 5 times speed. We've now finished planting. Let's just check the edges. Neat and tidy on the edges. Tidy and neat. Neat and tidy. And all neat and tidy there. There's nothing been left. Okay. Back to 5 times speed. We have now done it. We have actually done it. Our land is now planted with grass all the way through. We had a load of tree stumps in there. Those tree stumps have been removed. There are still tree stumps in some places. We know that those tree stumps are there. There is nothing we can do about it at the moment. So we won't worry about trying to do anything about it. I'm going to put the seed drill all the way back in here out of the way. It's going to go right there. So it is very awesome that we're able to use this little tractor to do so many jobs. I didn't think we'd be able to use it to do quite so much as what we have been using it for. And I think that is a really nice little bonus for us, the fact that we can go and use the little tractor for a few different things. I was kind of expecting it to be generally useless from this point on. And I know from the comments that a lot of you made earlier on in the series, you felt much the same as I did, that now that we've got a bigger tractor, that one would be completely obsolete and we wouldn't be able to use it for anything. And I felt the same. I really did think that there wouldn't be very much at all we'd be able to use it for. It was just, I wanted to keep it anyway, just in case, because, you know, the small tractor. But it turns out that there are quite a few jobs that we've been using it for. We did the planting with it. We can use it for the rake. And then once we start making hay as well, we'll be able to put that one on the hay turner. So that would be quite a cool little job for it. I'm going to take this tree here. I don't really need to take this tree up here. This one's not anywhere near where we want to cut. But as I'm doing a line of trees along here, I may as well take 1 or 2 extras, because they, Right, where are you gone? Oh, that one's rolling down as well. I should probably stop cutting them sideways. Cut them the other way. Cut them like this. I'll let that one finish doing whatever it's doing. I'll cut them this way. It's probably better. There we go. Right. I don't know if I'll worry about the tree stumps that are here just yet. We might wait until we go along and remove all the other tree stumps from inside the field before we worry about these. We'll see. I haven't quite made my mind up on that front yet. Right. You right here. Chop that end off there so that I don't have to worry about it. And I'll bring you along. Oh, I'd say about there. Chop one off there, and just wondering if this should be a 3 or a 4. I'm thinking I'll cut that one there. Hope that that's in the right place. I've got a few. Actually, this one should be alright. This one should come up through and slice down through quite cleanly. Oh, I do have one on top of it. There. There we go. This one, actually, this one is long enough, this one. I think we might have to cut that one into 4 pieces. Looking at it. Let's do it. Let's cut that one into 4. I may regret cutting it into 4. Yeah, I'm thinking I should have cut that one into 3. That one would have been just fine as a 3. Now it's going to move. It's going to roll all the way down the field. It's going to cause trouble for me, isn't it? Nope. Okay. Right, there's that bit out there. We won't go any higher with those. We've got 2 trees here. I'll leave that one. I'll leave that one. This one here can come out. I got another one there that I need to chop up. Take this one down here. And we ought to go and have a look up the other end and sort of see roughly where we're going to be cutting out our new field. There's a boulder most of the way up near the top of the field. And that's going to sort of mark the edge of it, because I don't want that boulder in the middle of the field like we've got this one down here. This one here, we've got one big island of a boulder right in the middle of the field, which is a little bit of a nuisance, but it'll be alright. We'll just learn to work around that one. But yeah, there is another one up the hill, and I don't really want that one stuck in the middle of a field as well. So we'll do 2 sort of long strip fields around that. Let's chop you off there. Yep, perfect. And right, this one does need to be cut into 4 pieces. Chop you there, and then actually I cut that in the wrong place when I cut it, but still, that's fine. And we'll cut you through there as well. Now, did I cut you in half? I already cut that one in half. That one's done. I said I'd leave that one. This one here I definitely want to cut down. And then there's one next to me that I shall be wanting to cut down as well, or right behind me. So I'll chop that one off, and then I'll go over and I'll chop this one off. I think I should keep felling them downhill. I think that would be better, because it'll just make it a bit easier to come along and gather up the branches once we're done. Right. There we go. No, not like that. Run up through here. Taking off all of those bits. There we go. And then chop this one straight in half, as we've done so many times before. There, like that. And then come back over to this one. And we'll run up through here and cut this one in half as well. I'm thinking that once I've done a strip of trees all the way up across here, we'll gather them all up, and then we will skip a night. That should allow some grass a bit of time to have grown by the morning. Because the one thing I said was that I can't slow time down to 1 time speed unless I'm planting. The only time I can do that acceptably is when I'm planting. The rest of the time, it must be a minimum of 5 times. But I never at any point said that I can't fast forward time more if I want to. So what we might do is we might try and fast forward time a bit more than I would otherwise. So we'll come along here, that section can stay. These 4 trees, I'll chop those down. And we'll chop down, well, these trees on this end we're going to be cutting down anyway. Because there's a boulder up here somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. How close is it to the edge? Where is that rock? There it is. There is this big rock. So I've got that one. There's a tree that grows right up through the middle of this rock. And absolutely massive. There's another one there. That is a big old tree there. But we'll leave that one growing. As well as the one that grows in the middle of the rock. Those 2 trees will stay. And the rock itself is going to be the bit that marks out the edge of the field. And then I'm looking on the map, and you can see the direction I'm facing here. I kind of want to go in a straight line along here. Something like that. So go from that point. Although I am thinking maybe we should do this as a boot-shaped one. Like that. Because if I go straight up to there, I've then got a little triangle bit left at the top of the field, which that's not quite so good. So if I was to go from the road over to the rock here and then straight down, that might be better. So if I go up here, look, right, you can just make out the road over there, and that sort of goes to the edge of the road. So if I was to go in a straight line over there, then that little bit there, that would be part of this field. If I was to go in a straight line from that corner down and go through here, I don't know that that would work out quite so well for us. Just because of the field up here, it's going to be an odd triangle sort of tip shape up there, which makes it a little bit more difficult to farm. Yeah, having a boot-shaped field is not always ideal. But just sort of go straight out from here. Go towards the road. This way. Straight down here. Go that side of it. Go out to about there. Right? And then... So I go straight in here to the boulder. And I do everything on my left-hand side. And then once we get to the boulder, we then come out this way and... Now, I'm sort of looking at that small map a minute. Yeah, that's not very helpful. Essentially, I want to just go straight down across here so that I do this section up here. So, pretty much a straight line from here. You can see it on the mini-map, pointing in a straight line there. This would be the line that I would want to draw down here. Actually, I want to be just bearing over that way ever so slightly. And go that way there. So I want to be going somewhere like that, I think. Up through here. We'll do this. We'll start from the rock, and because I'm slightly off target on the rock there. So if we go from this big stone, and we start working our way down, that one, well, we can cut that one off. I'll chop that one off right now. I'm actually going to remove that one. But that is all I've got time for in today's episode. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.